Okay, we're good.
I'd like to call the meeting for approval of previous minutes.
I'll make a motion that we approve them.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Is that the?
Oh, this is
And the personnel policy is keeping it as it was instead of increasing. So
Yes.
I make a motion that we approve the amendment 060926-1.
Has been seconded. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye. I
The
think I
motion-
forgot to
yeah.
mark aye.
Motion carries. Passes.
That one doesn't have an
No, it does. It has an A and an A. It's just set up differently. It's,
Yeah, I forgot to circle it. I signed it, but didn't circle.
technically, you can make a motion on the minutes. I just like to do it so that we have a paper trail to say, hey, this is the amendment for this particular thing.
before new business, before Drew gets into the PSH grant and all that, I did ask for his permission to slide something into the packet today. I just wanted to publicly recognize Drew for an achievement that he had just earned, and which you've probably already seen in the back. The AGA is the Association of Government Accounting, and recently Drew had been nominated and selected for the 2026 Award for Outstanding Service in Local Government. And I was like, well, what does that mean? So I went and researched it. If you don't mind, I'll read off some of this. It says, the Central Indiana Association of Government Accountants chapter states that this award is given to individuals in the judgment of the chapter and through member nominations have provided outstanding service to local and state government during the year preceding the award. The award generally recognizes people who have made a meaningful impact through strong leadership in local government, improvements to financial management, accountability, and public service, dedication to ethical and effective government operations, and contributions that benefit both their organization and the public. It kind of gives you some information about what the organization is itself. Past recipients have included county auditors, senior officials of the State Board of Accounts, and so on. But I just thought it would be very important to bring that to light, or Drew would probably never do it to himself because he's too humble. So congratulations, Drew, as a mentor.
Congratulations.
I think it's a lot. It means a lot. And, you know,
They sent me an email and I was like, what is this? Like, don't know who nominated me. I appreciate
Do
it.
you know who
They
nominated?
say it's anonymous, so you can't get them to tell you. I don't like getting things for myself. It's not a me effort, it's a team effort. Worked here long enough to know that it's just not one person that makes this thing go. It's multiple different people. So I appreciate it. No, I wouldn't say anything because I don't like, it's just not my personality. But I appreciate that I was given that award. So
and I can affirm that I am a member of this association and it was not me. He still believes it's me, but it was not me.
I don't know. I was like, who? I don't know what the AGA is.
But are you under oath if you say that?
It was not me. I promise that. I only joined the AGA. They have a certification. It's called the CGFM, Certified Government Financial Manager. So I'm working toward that. And then I got the email before Drew knew. And then finally, I think a day or two later, he got the email. So it was a good surprise for him. So,
Which is code for, I jumped in there real quick and I nominated you.
yes.
I realized
I don't think I have enough pull for that.
I'm
nomination.
not saying anything.
Yeah. Oh, good. It's a good honor for you.
So we got done with the personnel policy. New business, these are just things I just kind of wanted to bring to your guys' attention. The state is really trying to push for a group to take over this. It's called PSH. It's Permanent Supportive Housing. Previously, CAM had ran it. Basically, these people, I'm trying to ask a lot more questions, and I wanted to kind of talk to I talked to the people from the IHCDA, which is the Indiana Housing Community Development. I don't know what the last A is, Alliance or Associate. I don't think it's association, but they handle a lot of HUD grants. Before CAM had it, Community Howard had it. They didn't want it. Cam ran into some financial woes recently, executive director change. Now Ruth Lawson's back there, but they're pulling it. But they've been trying to get us to take it. I have to, I have to do all of the T's crossing on it. So what it is these people, you have a 25% match, and basically you can have in-kind services. So like if we did case management for this particular client or these group of clients, we could use that towards the 25% match. Local funds could be used. So that's where I'm trying to get more clarification. Is this a benefit for the township to take? I don't think it'd be a real revenue generator. That's what I was ultimately asking at first, is like, is this gonna, potentially get us some revenue? Because that's a good thing with all Senate Bill 1 coming, is like, could we do this and it not take away from our taxpayer funds, but also recycle those dollars and provide some additional resources. So we're trying to look at it. I kind of want to bring it to your attention because I know they're trying to move, because their award deadline is June 30th, I believe. They really have been trying to get us to take it, because we've had clients come from CAM that were on this program and their rent was promised to be paid part of this grant. Well, their grant's not getting paid because CAM doesn't have the money. So then they're in here requesting rental assistance, and we are like, we can't touch this because you're already on a public assistance. So it's been kind of a circle that we've been involved with, but we've not taken on the role of wanting to take this unless it's really going to be, I'm not going to say it has to benefit us financially, but is it going to, if we're going to help these 8, or I think it's anywhere from 8 to 15, the number keeps changing. I think there's 8 that's in Center Township. There might be some other ones that are outside of township, which makes me weary of, if the money is recycled, then that's good. But if it's not, then we can't use taxpayer funds to support this program. Compliance, we got to make sure the compliance is there, because it's not just local compliance, it's federal audits. It's technically a HUD grant cycled through a state program, cycled through local sub-recipients. I'm not saying that I want to do this. I'm like, what's going to happen if these people don't, if this grant disappears from Howard County? And they're like, well, I don't know. Nobody wants to take it. Well, those people, if they're needing permanent supportive housing and they're not going to be in Section 8 or in the HUD housing that's there, then most likely they're not able to work. I've asked kind of some questions, at least from the ones that have came into our office, of, do these people need this? Why can't they be on, the towers or Section 8 or HUD vouchers? And there's something where they're on this, and it's like, well, then they'll be here, and then we'll be their permanent supportive housing. So I want to make sure if we do it, it makes sense for the township. So these people, if they get kicked off this grant, can walk in this office and are probably most likely qualified to get township assistance, just based off of baseline. I'm not going to say I know every case, because we don't have the names of all the people, but they could come in here and request assistance monthly and could qualify. So if we would take this grant, would that recycling of that money prevent them from being permanently here, which is not a solution that they should have. It should be temporary here. That's okay, but permanent should not be the case. So I'm asking the attorney just to look at it, not to sign it. I would bring it before the board before we move forward with it. I keep trying to ask them questions from the IHCDA just to get more clarification of what this match means. Is that financially? Is that in-kind services? I talked with some people from the city of Lafayette's police department, actually runs a similar program. When I got on the conversation, I was like, why do you guys run it? And they just like, this is what we do, part of the police department. Different city, different things. I wanted to see some other municipalities that ran it to see how that interacted with their accounting, with their compliance, everything else. So just wanted to bring it to your attention. If it gets, we'd have to make motions on it, and a lot more things would have to happen. But I think it could cause some messes with different things if it's lost in this town. I would rather somebody else take it. FSA does a similar grant. It's not PSH. It's not rapid rehousing. There's a couple of them that are already existing. Dale Bliss at Advantage Housing does rapid rehousing, which Gene in this office did back in 2009 to 2011, which helps get people off the streets into housing. Federal dollars come in and no money came out of the township code. So it was all separated. This would have to be done differently, because we would have to provide the match, get reimbursed from the state, which could lag on when is those payments going to come back to us. So just wanted to bring it to your attention, not pulling any triggers, just really kind of vetting the whole program. I feel for the people, because if they really need this program, and nobody, like the nonprofits really aren't a great fit either, because Cam was out asking the county, the city, and the township, can they get money for PSH? And I said, well, you got those clients in here. I can't pay you and pay them if they need help with their rental assistance. So just want to vet it out, kind of bring it to your attention. The other thing was the rep payee program.
Before we get to the payee program.
Yeah.
The grant, are you aware of all the negatives to CAM?
Oh, yeah.
They're over 30,000 in debt
Yeah.
currently. There are investigations going on.
I've been, unfortunately,
Ruth Lawson is only there
yeah.
for a short time until they
So-
can work something out. She's retired and did not really want to come back and do it.
So the Commissioner Dodd and I had talked about it because we had seen that their executive director resigned. So
Yeah.
we asked some questions and then the board members seemed kind of clueless. So I said I was putting because we pay them, they're part of our partnership. I said, we're putting it on pause until you can at least show me some effort that you guys are trying to clean things up. It was about a month that I paused it. We would do our quarterlies in April. I just printed it out at the end of May. And that was after Ruth got in there. And I told her, I said, look, like, if you guys, we do quarterly so that we can kind of control that. I said, before they didn't have a director, the board didn't seem like they had a clue what was going on. They had representative payees that they just closed out. That's part of the investigation as well, because they think maybe they use some of their representative payee funds.
There may be some criminal
Yeah.
charges.
So
I would not like to see us get involved with that in any way.
yeah, no, that was why I stopped it, because I said the board members that I had talked to, because we had one lady that was coming in here we were trying to help clients that were coming into our office that were either payee clients of theirs or PSH clients of theirs. And that's kind of how we got in that conversation of PSH. And I wrote them a letter and they said I was being mean. I was like, look, I can't give you guys money and not know what's going on. You guys don't even know what's going on. And you are the board of that nonprofit. So, I'm not going to say that you're responsible, but you're going to be part of it since you're part of the oversight board. So I told him that. I had a conversation with Ruth. I said, look, I'll give you this quarterly check. I paused it for a reason. I want to let you know if there's anything that goes here, the next one is not guaranteed, and going into the next year can't be guaranteed. So unfortunately, and I know the situation with the commissioners, they had wrote them a check as well. And the money didn't get spent the way it was supposed to be spent. And that was a different situation. And I talked to Commissioner Dodd and I was like, I don't know I'm trying to figure it out too. So unfortunately, and thankfully, Ruth Lawson is back there now, hopefully keeping it stable. Because what I was balancing with there is that the money that we partner with them is going to the people. It's to be the programs that help in the drop-in shelter and help in the Howard County Connect, which is the transportation. And it's like, okay, if you don't have an executive director, that's really bad, because then who's in there leading it? It can't be the board, because I don't think any of them work there. Don't know what that was.
What was that?
Sound like
And
a muffler fell off.
Ruth reached out to me and she's like, well, how do I request? I said, I didn't terminate the contract. I paused it because in the agreement, it says that I can, pause it at any time or terminate it. I said, I really don't want to do that because the people are going to suffer in the end that get that money through they don't get our money, but the programs are there.
But if they're not getting the money anyway,
Yeah.
I see no reason for us to pay,
Yeah.
and I know that Ruth is going to do everything she possibly can, but she's stepped into
A hot mess. Yeah.
Yeah, Ruth's a good lady.
So
Yeah.
I told Ruth, I said, keep in contact with me. Let me know what's going on. The PSH grant thing was an issue for them. The payees are an issue, which is part of the second point I had there, is that they had maybe 35 representative payees, which we have a similar program. Ours is twice the size of it. And they came to us and asked if we'd take over all of them. And I said, I can't take over all of them. And I said, we could take a couple at a time. And next thing you know, they turn their checks into SSA. And now these people are locked out of their funds. They're in here requesting rent or utilities or food. We know they have income, but we know they don't have access to it. We can't really help them, but we also, trying to figure out solutions. So we had told them, look, we could take some of the ones that live in Center Township. That's, if you give us a list, figure out the ones that are Center Township, because that's how, I don't know if that's how Gene did it. I don't know if that's how Reverend Lee did it, but I said, hey, it's got to be Center Township people that we're doing this rep payee program for. It is a good program for us. It keeps people that have some income, the ability not to waste it away, that they can pay their rent, their utilities, their basic necessities, just like if they went to the other side and got assistance. So it has always been a valuable thing to have a rep payee program. but all the programs in town were closing. CAM closed their doors. We had Community Howard approach us and try to get us to take theirs. I told them, I said, we just don't have the capacity. So now we're the only representative payee program in town with about 80 to 85 representative payees that are on our program, and nobody else will do it. And if you can get a family member to do it, but a lot of these people have been burnt by a family member. You can get a friend to do it. Some of these people have been burnt by a family member. So they have income, been determined that they need a rep payee. So they usually they get referred to us here, and we usually evaluate whether it's not a good fit. Not everybody's always a good fit. If they get violent, if they cuss at us, if they don't want to follow the rules, we don't have to keep them as a payee. We've had plenty of move on through the years. We've had some that have been on the rep payee program since its inception in '95. So it's causing us some headaches because we're like, we don't know what to do because we can't take everybody. We try to help out the ones that we think are the most vulnerable because if we have the capacity to do it, but we can't take CAM's 30 and Community Howard's 25 because the hospital decided they didn't want to do anything in behavioral health anymore and close that place down on Main Street. And CAM, for rightful reasons, Ruth said they were ending it. Well, she didn't end it. Somebody else already turned their money in, but I asked Ruth, I said, are you doing payees again? She said, no. I said, that's probably a good idea.
Do they qualify for just federal housing?
They do. Some of them will. Some might be a little over income. Some, if you get SSI and SSD, I believe, one's a lower amount. I think it's like $995. So they probably would qualify for housing assistance. And that's part of our program too, is that I want them to apply for these programs, whether it's food stamps, whether it's public housing. If you don't, then it's part of our rules that we don't have to keep you because you're not going to listen to our advice. We're not trying to put you there because it is their money. So we're using their money to pay their bills. But these things like getting on public housing assistance is going to save you money in the long run. Getting food stamps is going to save you money in the long run. Area 5, same thing with the utility moratorium that they do in the winter is going to save you money. So we try to say if you don't follow those rules, then it's not a good idea. You won't be a good fit for us. Doesn't mean you can't have a payee somewhere else. Just here, we want you to try to be able to either do that or get off on your own. And there's some people mentally unstable where they can't get off on their own, but there's some where we're like, hey, you need to try to be your own representative payee instead of us do it. And it's kind of a delicate thing because the different medical conditions where they don't always feel like they can do it on their own, even though they probably could at some point. But that's what we're trying to build, is to get some of these people to say, hey, like, we can get you to a place where you're stable and you got a job, because there's a few of them that do, and it's like, you can do this. Now there's some that can't, and that's okay.
Are you talking about the program where we get their money and we pay their bills?
Yeah, the rep pay.
Yeah, that's been since '95. A lot of them is just because it's easier for them.
Yeah.
And they don't trust themselves with what they would do with their money.
Yeah,
So giving it to somebody else to control.
they don't like that either, though, because they come in here very angry about it.
Right.
But
But it has helped us not have to pay.
for when they make mistakes, and that's like always the catch side, because Rev talked about it when he was trustee. He was like, do we need to do this? And it's like, I see both sides of it. It does cost the overhead for us to run the program.
Yeah.
Tracy's been probably doing it since '95, and she's been here since 1992. And it's like, yeah, I seen Rev's thought, like, I could probably save us, a salary and some benefits.
Yeah.
But what if these people don't have any places to go anymore? And that's kind of what we're running into now. I'm not saying we're going to expand it. We are just getting an influx of these different programs saying, take this, or will you take our people? And it's like, we don't have the capacity for all this, but we can help the ones that we can get to that capacity, but we can't go past it, I guess.
I
So-
think, I forget her first name, but the gal that was clerk before me, Metcalf, her daughter worked here for a short amount of time
Okay.
and actually initiated that.
Ruth claims Ruth claims she did it too. And Ruth says that she started
Well,
paying
here.
here. So Ruth said she did it here. I don't know who did it back in 1995, but
Yeah.
Ruth claimed when she called, she's like, I started that program. And I was like, I didn't know you were an employee here, Ruth.
Okay.
I know Pam kind of grew out of like next door to
Yeah.
Center Township, but that's about all I knew.
Yeah.
Is there a cap you're looking for to where the highest pay you would do?
It for a while it was about it was at 75.
What is it now?
It depends out if any of these people come in from CAM. We can't take them unless they request us. and we can make a call whether or not the situation, one, if the client we have previous issues with, we may decide we'll pass on it. Because if we've had people in here threaten us before, I had a guy tell me, the U.S. Marshals did catch him, I'll burn this place down. And like 2 weeks later, there was a pile of shingles in the lot behind the towers on fire. And Anthony's like, your car's on fire. And I was like, run outside, but it wasn't in our parking lot. So we don't know if it was that guy, but we've definitely got people where we're like, I said, we can't have that. Like if somebody's gonna come in here and threaten us with violence, I had to come up front, talk to him, told the staff to get out of the area because I don't know if he's gonna, what he's gonna do. And I don't want it to happen to you. I don't want it to happen to me either, but we just have to have instances where we just break agreements. Hey, this isn't working. You come in here violent, you come in here cussing out people, whatever it may be, you're gonna have to find another program. Bad part is now you're not going to be able to find really anywhere else unless you can find a close friend or family member.
But you do it for 75 people now, roughly?
Yep.
And they want to add 25 plus?
It was about 20, 21. I have to get the roster.
What
They
would
gave
that
it
do
to us.
to our overhead?
It wouldn't increase our costs. It would just increase the workload on the people doing it right now. So Tracy, that's the conversation I had to have with that department. Say, can you handle more people? Because it's not going to cost us other than because the person's already there doing it. Can she do more? Because it's Tracy, and then we have a payroll clerk that's a financial clerk that does kind of the checks and balances on both sides. She works with Anthony, and then she works with Tracy as well. So can they handle that increase of extra people? You don't want to put too much on 1.5 person where, I'm going to listen to you. Do you think you can handle more? If you can't, you can't. That's all it is. But as far as overhead, it's not going to cost us more to do it either because we're going to be getting their funds to pay their bills. It's just adding 20 more bodies or 20 more individuals to that count can make it a little, that's 20 more rent payments, 20 more utility payments, 20 more allowance checks, 20 more food checks, just adds to the daily work. That's all I got. I just really just wanted to kind of fill you guys in on it. The PSH thing, they emailed me constantly and I was like, can the housing authority take it? Can anybody take it? I think FSA said, well, could you guys give us 50? I said, that ain't gonna happen. So I'm just kind of trying to vet it out and trying to weigh, will it save us? Everybody's like, it doesn't make any money. And I was like, okay, I'm not looking to replace millions of dollars. That's not going to happen. But I can't be an expense where it's costing us time, money, and we get nothing back or anything out of it. So that's what I'm still kind of trying to navigate with IHCDA. Is like, what does that mean? Because Lafayette says they partner with the mental health services, and that goes towards their in-kind match. So it's like, oh, maybe it's not all financial. Maybe we have to figure out, partnering with mental health. And now that our mental health community, Howard, is leaving, I don't really know who we have locally other than Mental Health America, but just kind of wanted to kind of bring it to your attention. I wouldn't do anything without bringing it to you guys first. So and that's all the new business that I got.
All right, cool business.
Old business, CPI project complete.
So we did the CIP last summer. It just came along in July, and we had to do it before September. I know we had some projects listed in there after we got through it. One was being the roof. We had the roof replaced. We tried to figure out how or when the last time this roof was replaced, and we have all records, but I couldn't find anything to say when they built this building in '88. I would think they would have replaced the roof before or since then, but we couldn't find anything that had, and we had them come out and I won't say investigated, what called estimate, look at the roof to see what condition it's in.
Yes.
And we went through, I had Anthony get some different quotes from different roofing companies. We had it done in a weekend. I think it was roughly around $42,000. It was under the threshold of the public bidding. We just got quotes. We had it taken care of, done. Roof should be good for way past anybody in this room.
Did it?
Grand Roofing,
You did good work.
yeah. They're quick.
Yeah,
We're still looking for nails because we found one. I found one out there today. I was like, you don't want to get that.
Bring my magnet.
Oh, yeah.
Good help time.
I got a rolling magnet.
I found one sitting in a tar, so it was probably one that kind of got heated up, and then it just.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, you don't want that one. That'll ruin your day. Yeah. Darla had a flat this morning. I was like, hopefully it wasn't here,
Uh-oh.
but
I hope I don't get one.
it should be good.
I might do it.
Anthony seen him out there with the magnet, and he's like, they go out there and roll it. I was like, okay. I just
Yeah,
don't want
they
somebody to
do
get a
have
nail in their
magnet
tire.
roller.
The walking easement at Summers Park is done. The basketball court has been fixed. They're just waiting to put the basketball courts back in. So it's a blacktop. So now on the south side where the parking lot is up there, but slightly to it, there was kind of already an access road that was crumbled. So it goes down there and it loops back around so they can get up in and out of the park. So that is the park. That's all I got. There's nothing else I'm gonna say I'm not gonna ask, but from when the discussions about the park started, those were the things that kind of we had discussed. There were bathrooms and those things that I don't have any interest. A porta potty is done fine out there, better than having somebody go in the trees. We have playground that's safe. We have mulch that's out there at the right levels. That's all I see going with that. And then I think that was the only other thing in our CIP. Computers.
Yeah, we did get computers. Yeah.
We had to replace computers. All our computers are, not all of them, but most of them were getting ready to run into this issue with Windows 11 where they wouldn't update. And we had Mike from Kling's computer or Horton's computers.
I think we got 11.
Yeah.
11 different
So,
computers.
Should be good.
Gotta
on
be
it.
secure. Gotta be updated.
We just started with Mission IT. It's local. It's actually right there on Taylor and Main Street. So they're a local IT service. I think it's about $1,500. It's kind of like having insurance.
It
But-
sure is.
Yeah.
It's not something you want to pay for, but county got ransomed about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
We did.
You want to have somebody there if you need it. We always had Mike in Kling's computers, and Mike's a good guy. He's just not necessarily the IT guy. He's more get your computer, set up your network systems, and if you have an issue, he'll come in. So now we got a help desk ticket. If we have a employee that needs help or issue, they can contact them instantly. They'll call us, fix it. Hopefully it'll be something we don't have to use for a big emergency, but for things that come up, it'll be nice to have. The parking lot, and I think I talked to you about that, guys, in the winter. It's kind of stalling. I haven't really heard from the developer lately. I had him talk to the attorney.
Like half of it or something.
They wanted to parcel it, like they didn't want the whole thing, which I didn't want to really give them the whole thing anyways, because I was like, well, we kind of need it, but we don't need all of it. And I know Dale and Vantage Housing, we let them use the other side of it because we don't always go down there to the east side. And they wanted 12 spots, and you'd have to get it surveyed and plotted to break up the parcel. And
Because weren't they gonna build like apartments or something?
they never really said what. They
There's
said that
nothing going on, it looks like in that building.
Yeah, it's-
No.
You could see in the door.
my guess is that they're trying to rezone it. And the only reason you rezone it is if you're turning into something that's not a church, because there's a church probably 3 buildings over that is there existing and it doesn't have parking lot. So they were saying they needed a parking lot to do that. And it's like, I asked them, I said, well, what do you got? You guys building apartments, or are you guys going to revamp it to a church? They're like, oh, I don't know. The developer hasn't really decided. So I'm guessing apartments because everything on Jefferson seems to be turning into apartments.
Oh, that's nice. You've
Are
seen,
they?
they're.
Well, I know what is it, Zion Tabernacle that they took, and Stouts.
And Stouts.
Sorry, I wouldn't. I would be like,
Oh, come on. I see them at the jail all the time.
Goats?
yeah, but I mean,
So-
there's probably a cent left too.
Yeah. Oh. That's where my great grandma was. That's what I remember when I was 1996, and that's where she had her funeral at. And I don't think I've been back there since. And it had a cent.
Yes.
But that is a thing. I
Yeah.
mean, so I can see them turning that into apartments.
Yeah, and that's what makes sense. I mean, it was Pitcher's group, but it wasn't Scott Pitcher's group. He's done a lot with a lot of these buildings and turn them into apartments. And it's like, okay, well,
Yes.
I'm not going to do the legwork to figure it out. Like, you could talk to the attorney. I don't know if you can come just buy our parcel without us actually auctioning it. So you need to talk to the attorney first, and it's stalled. So as of right now, they're not moving on it.
They were going to talk to the attorney.
Well, the attorney said that he reached out to them and they haven't heard anything else. So I don't think it's going anywhere as of right now. So
I don't think I'd want to part with that unless we knew exactly what they were doing with it.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't like the,
Oh, yeah, me.
we
either.
don't know.
If they ask, do you want them to come to the board meeting to kind of explain? Because like
Yeah.
they've asked, and it's just been, through the window. He brought me a card,
Yeah.
and I was just like, well, what do you guys? He's like, well, we want 12 spots. I was like, well, it's
Well,
one parcel.
I want to know why.
Yeah.
in writing.
So if they follow up, I'll just let them know that, hey, you
Yeah.
can come to our next meeting, kind of explain what your plan is to do with it. At one point, somebody said they were going to turn it into a Korean church when battery plants were starting up, but they didn't go nowhere. So- Those are
Over
the
there.
First Pres.
Yeah,
I think they sold half of their building or something
over
or
down by
like that.
Amoretti's or
Yeah.
something.
And then that's
That's it.
That's it for the old business. The next meeting will be our pre-budget meeting where we kind of try to talk it out before we actually go to the public hearing. We don't have a budget to present to you guys because we'll still meet with the DLGF in July, mid-July, but kind of just see where things are at 6-month wise, where we need to go for 2027 and try to get there. So we're not coming to the public hearing like, well, what's this year's budget going to look like? So that'll be that one. If for some reason it needs to change the schedule, we have plenty of time. We have between now and I think I don't even know if I set the public hearing yet. It might be into August for our budget public hearing. So if something comes up where we need to move it, we'll make sure you communicate to us and we'll get it fixed on the calendar.
All right.
Have you heard anything new on the township mergings or people?
Well, you guys were at the meeting.
Yeah, I
that we-
came to the meeting. I think that's the last meeting we had.
I had one township ask about more information, and then it I think one of them asked today for like a scorecard, and Commissioner Dodd said, I'd like for you guys to figure it out. I told him I don't think Center Township really has the business of taking any other township, so if they want to work it out with themselves, I kind of told him in a meeting, I was like, look, like, I don't think we're a fit for anybody in this room. You guys might find fits with each other. I know out in Greentown, they kind of were like, hey, we've already kind of had this conversation. I know Deb over in Monroe Township, she's kind of had that conversation with Honey Creek and Rushville, but it's like, you guys I don't need to tell you guys what to do. Jack or the commissioners don't want to tell you guys where you're going to go. And that's what, hopefully through the summer, meet with them again. We don't meet regularly. Usually about quarterly, depending on if there's anything going on. So we'll see where they're at. So I don't know. Every one of those people that wrote that bill are not going to be in office. So it could completely change next January.
It could be
So
off the table.
So do we have any obligation to inform anybody at the state by June 30 that we're on our own on this?
So we don't have to do anything so far this year.
Okay.
The DLGF has to get the scores to everybody in the state.
Right?
Nobody's heard anything so far.
Okay.
So it could be like the Senate Bill 1 thing where this thing gets kicked around a little bit.
Yeah.
They still, like the local income tax thing got pushed back this year to 2028 or 29. I think it went back another year. So we were getting ready from Senate Bill 1 when it originally got enacted to have to ask for lit from the county council. They pushed it back. They're trying to still figure out that whole formula in that debacle. I'm sure they're coming back to it in the long session of the next year. But the CIP, that's what I meant to say about that. We don't have to do it this year. Somebody put it in a B&B bill where they pushed that back, so we don't have to do the CIP again. But we have to do it the next year. And I don't know. So far. So that the DLGF just sent a memo out about that, and it's like, well, okay. I guess that's one less thing you have to do in the summertime, but no, we don't have to say. I think it's next year, next June 30th of 27, you have to have plans to merge, or you have to be, if you don't merge by that point, then the commissioners will pick the new townships based off the score. Which if you're having a good score, there's probably about ours, just looking at the score, we would get a point because we don't have our own fire protection. We contract with the city. The assistance questions it's like 20, do you get 24 applications a year? We probably had 24 applications come in today. So that one, we're not gonna hit that one. It's like, do you have vacancies on your ballot? We don't really ever have vacancies on our ballot. that's not a thing. There's somewhere in our county even where there's nobody running, but somebody will be trustee
Yeah.
January 1 regardless. And that's, you know, that's always the challenging part. It's like, well, if you don't resign, you still are the trustee or you still are the board member. If you don't want to do it, that's fine, but you need to call the county clerk and tell your party that you're stepping down so that they can caucus it in. So we'll see where it goes. I think the outliers in the county are probably gonna self-merge rather than be told to go to Harrison or go to Taylor or go to Howard. I brought the book that Gene had from 2011. It was more of the school district idea where Kokomo's Center, Taylor's Taylor, Western's Harrison, Honey Creek, Monroe, Northwestern's Clay, Howard, Urban, Eastern's Green, or Union, Jackson, Liberty. And I said, I don't think this has to be that way. It could be smaller units, but they did a little bit of the work of it. It just failed because at that point, you had to go to referendum, which had to be voted on. And the people always said no. So that's where that's at. And I know the commissioners don't want to be the bad guys and say, you're gone, you stay. I mean, if you've got a good score, they can't tell you you're gone. But if you have a what they call high score, then yes, you could be merged into somebody else. But I said Center Township the tax rates between us and the rural are a lot different, and it wouldn't be good to the rural community.
You guys find yourselves out and about Thursday? We're having our expo from 11 to 2.
It's gonna be hot.
I'd love to see you guys.
It's gonna be hot.
We'll have cold water. A lot of food to give away.
Cold water, and the good thing about it is we got all the donated. Duke Foundation gave us $3,200, $3,600. Then Duke itself gave us like $1,000, and then Community First, our bank, gave us $500. So we've been able to, the food that we got today was, we don't charge anything to the vendors. It's not about getting money for that. It's just, can we pay for the things like we give hot dogs and chips and a cookie, and we're not paying any money out of that. When Rev first did it, it was meant to be an open house of the township. I don't think anybody's ever that interested to come see what we do. We had one guy show up and he ate 20 hot dogs and he had a good time. But we were like, can we highlight some of these other agencies? And they're not all people that we partner with. Sometimes, we have the fire department, we offer the police department to come. We got some insurance, we got vendors that sell things too, but we try to keep them more as community where it's a nonprofit-esque or they have services that can help people out. So cell phones.
Question, will Paul need to come get more boxes from me? Do you think?
Probably not.
His mom, he's in Indianapolis right now, so he probably won't be able to. I think we got a lot in there. We got a lot in the garage right now. So I'll text him tonight, see, but he had to rush to
If you
Indy.
think you don't have enough, I could run them up.
Okay.
He's busy.
Yeah.
I get it, but I can run them up. Just let me know.
I'll text him. He had to run down to Indy today and his mom was rushed to the hospital. So told him, okay, I needed you. We had to do the pallet jack today and get 25 skids in the community service building, but family first.
Yes,
hot.
yes, family first is
I
absolutely
had to go home
right.
and take a shower.
Yeah.
It's muggy.
Okay, are we,
I'll make a
All
motion,
done?
we adjourn.
I second it.
all those in favor say aye?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.
Here's
See
this,
you in
30 days.